Vader game.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. Ooh, here we go. Where to start? Not doing a lot of intros. Just get right into it. All right. First things first. My peoples come first. My people's here. My people's no longer here. Thought of and remembered. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. We got an episode of 115. One question, 15 minutes. We're going to get into it. Everyone's been talking. All right. I'm out here, North America, Toronto to be specific. Guess the news doesn't travel slower, but the days are different. It's 12:45 out here for me right now. So everyone on the UK's already had their 2 cents. City fans, rivals, they all had their conversations. I'm going to give you mine. I'm going to start the clock because here on 115, one question, 15 minutes, I'm going to speak for 15 minutes. I'll speak for 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna hear from you. I'm gonna hear from y'all. I'm gonna hear from you guys for 15 minutes. So let me get the clock started, and let's get into it. Okay. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you like what you happen to see, you like the format, you like the difference that I happen to give or provide, hit that like button. Now, why Julian Alvarez wants to leave Manchester City? I talked about that on the previous show. All right, I talked about why Julian Alvarez did not want to continue to fight for that number one striker position. And we said, we're not mad. We're not upset. We get it. The man in front of you is Erling Haaland. You getting a chance to start ahead of him, really the only start you got was when he was injured. And the man looks on fire. Erling Haaland looks on fire right now. Hat trick in preseason. It's crazy. So I think Julian, his representatives, obviously his agent, they're all looking like, listen, keep stacking up these trophies. You've completed everything you could possibly win in England with Manchester City. Maybe it's best that you strike when the iron's hot. You go to what's next. And again, for him to go from the Prem to La Liga makes a lot of sense. Atletico Madrid, not a Barca, not a Real Madrid, but Atletico Madrid, fellow countryman in terms of manager. Can't hate on it. You got to do what's best for your career. But Julian Alvarez leaving, and I'm going to get to the comments. Thank you all for being in the mix. And I'm going to shout out who's first in the comments is what I do on this channel because that's how I show love. Love's being shown to me. I'm going to show love back. And I show love back by showing who's first in the comments. And today on this show, all right, we're a couple minutes in. I got to show love to DC. DC goes, I suppose we should pray for the football gods that Haaland never gets injured. DC, that's what I'm talking about, DC. That's what I'm talking about. Other comments I will get to you. But that's why we're weaker. That's why City are weaker without Julian Alvarez. I'm not going to geek out. I'm not going to geek out and nerd out and then go in terms of minutes played, number of starts, number of appearances. I'm not going to do that. City fans, we know how often Julian was relied on. Okay? When Erling was injured, when KDB was injured. But that's the problem. That's the problem from a player standpoint. Is like the reason why I got so much shine last year was because players ahead of me were hurt. The reason why us as City fans, Manchester City, the reason why we're weaker though is because when we think about no Haaland, no KDB, and we think about no Alvarez, we're weaker. Because he showed his versatility. He was there. He stepped in. And again, no, he wasn't as good as them, but the fall off could have been a lot more detrimental to us. And I said this on my previous show, my previous 115. I spoke about how Julian Alvarez starts everywhere else. With the exception of a few. Newcastle, Aston Villa. Everywhere else, he is starting. Chelsea, he's starting. Liverpool, he's starting. Arsenal, he's starting. Now we're losing this player. City are losing this player. Versatility, the best backup striker in the league. We're losing that. So, like DC mentioned in her comment, I'll put it back on screen. Like DC said, heaven forbid our number one striker isn't available. And when we get in that congested portion of the season and rivals don't want to hear it from me, it's always like, why always me when it's Vader speaking? But when the congested portion of the season, when we got League, FA, Champions League, the rotation, the availability, that's why we're weaker right now. I'm going to get to the comments. And let me shout out Bree in the building. Bree goes, is it possible we'll now go all out for Danny Olmo, who can play in a false nine, yeah, or probably more positionally flexible than Alvarez? Maybe. Olmo would have been great, like you mentioned. Olmo is kind of like a Gundo a little bit in terms of versatility. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna start the comments and come back. Let me also shout out my AJ in the building. Says big up Vader every time. Yo, large up AJ. Thanks for being on the show, man. I've been all right. I'm stressed with this news, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm stressed with this news because we are weaker without Julian Alvarez when we think of depth, when we think of Erling Haaland and not being available. I don't want us to have to change systems. I don't want a 1-2 game out with Erling for us to not be able to play direct, for us to not be able to maybe go be a central, for us to not have the same form of attack, because again, we would become pretty predictable when there's no Erling. There's now a completely different style of play. Now, I agree with some City fans when they say we need to replace him with the versatility of someone that could play false nine, but also play in the attacking. My pipe dream, right? Pause. My hope in terms of to do, and I spoke about it on the last show, but I had to take it back because realistically, it's not going to really happen. But Ivan Toney would be sick for us. Would be absolutely sick for us because he can do very similar things to Erling and a little more in terms of like hold up play a little bit, aerial, and that's something that Erling is improving on because he tends to go aerial attacks. He'll go with his feet first, right? The flexibility is amazing. But I think almost like we can play those two styles. Ivan Toney would be sick. He would be. But would he take a backup role? Would he do it for the sake of trophies rather than the career, the salary? I don't know. I might be wilding here. AJ goes, I honestly would be surprised if you go for Ivan Toney. I would too. Honestly, I think, again, the reason why this title is so fitting, I think we're going to be weaker because I don't think we're going to be replacing Julian. I think in this transfer window, I don't think we get a player. I don't think we get another forward attacking player. I could be way off. I hope I'm way off. But a lot of signs show we're going to continue to prioritize, and we should because Rodri needs that backup, but we're going to prioritize in the midfield. So, disadvantage Manchester City with regards to our attack. Vader, I can't lie. If you get Toney, the league is over for the next 3 years. AJ, that's what, and I think that's why it's not going to happen. DC in the building, she goes, according to Fabrizio, Alvarez hasn't accepted the offer yet because it's too low. So the transfer, DC, great point. The transfer is where things are lining up, but the player's salary, almost like player terms, aren't lining up. So there's some rumblings that, but again, it's gotten so far along. I don't think Atletico will have this slip. But AJ, when I talk Ivan Toney, and maybe we just have coverage with an O'Reilly, with a Kovacic for Rodri. I would be really confident because it's the fear. It's our attack puts the fear. Our attack is why opposing clubs, with the likes of a Liverpool and Arsenal, why they turtle, why they defend for their lives. You had their manager Arteta decide in a league potential winning season, decide to play for a draw. That's because of the danger in our attack. And I don't want, and I'm not hoping for this. I'm knocking on the wood, which is my desk right now. I don't pray for this, but it's a long season. There's going to be times where Erling's not going to be available. I would hope that we don't change the system too drastically because of not replacing Julian Alvarez. Um, Listen, let me. Where's the comment? Shout out, Javel. Good looking out. Thanks for being on the show. And being on the show, being part of the comments. And I'm refining this. Before I was going to just flow for 15 minutes, speak on it. But again, your comments are on point. So they're going to be part of the show. They're involved. But Javel, when you say we need a right back, in the league, I don't think we do. In the league, I don't think we do. But damn it. Damn it when we think Champions League. Damn it when we think of the only club, or two, because Chelsea, but the only club in Real Madrid of recency preventing us from doing what we needed to do in Champions League. So when you say we need a right back, if we lose Walker, and I hope we have Walker just for 1 year, and Walker will be the specialist when we deal with pacey wingers. But next year is when I think we need that right back. If we lose Walker, then I agree with you. We need a right back. But I don't think we need it in the league. I think we need it in Champions League. Because look at what Real Madrid just did. They already had Vinicius and that speed demon. He's got skill. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he uses his speed. They got Rodrigo, speed, pacey as well, and now they've added Mbappe. And word is Ancelotti's looking to have those three kind of interchange and play amongst each other. And then you got Jude with late arrivals into the 18-yard box. We are going to need pace against them. Pace for pace. AJ. In terms of Rodri backup, I think you guys will get Zumamendi. If I'm honest, I don't know. Well, I don't know, but I'm confident. I'm pretty sure City aren't going to replace Julian. Yeah, we strengthen midfield. I don't know, but even with us strengthening midfield, it's great coverage for Rodri. Depending on who it is, Olmo makes a lot of sense because of that versatility up front midfield. But a replacement for Rodri, I think, is key. It's key. Everyone's showing some love. City not weaker without a Javel. How are you going to say City aren't weaker? How are you going to say City aren't weaker without him? If it's all blue skies and rainbows, sure. But if we happen to not have the most prolific striker in Prem history available, and when we were able to lean on Julian Alvarez last season for 2 months when Haaland was nursing himself back, we don't win. We don't win. I'm stoked to see what O'Reilly can do. Same here. Same here. And as a fan base, let's be patient with him. I think we will be because again, we show more patience with players that come through our system. But O'Reilly for sure. O'Reilly's got it. Now, if you want to tell me that we're not weaker with Julian Alvarez, that means we replace the player. Maybe not the position, but we have to replace the player. And I'm gonna say right now, advantage Arsenal. Advantage Arsenal. We don't replace Julian Alvarez. What is it that we were able to do easily last season? We were able to be dominant in our attack. With the exception of the one game Aston Villa where, Pep was messing around with what? We had six defense six defenders on the pitch, right? But other than that, our attack was so deadly, even without Holland and KDB. Just think of that. Think about that for a second. And I'm not saying we're getting the injuries again, but when we have an Alvarez and we no longer have an Alvarez, that's a concern. This 5P, this chance at making more history while we have Pep here is why you're hearing some of the stress from City fans. Of course, no one is I demand my club to win. No one's like that. We've been spoiled with the amount of winning. All right. Look at what some of these other clubs are stressing with. 20 years not winning the league, right? We've won five out of six. Like, it's crazy. Now, what am I saying? 6 out of 7. 6 out of 7. Not 5. But when this 4P going to a 5P, we're going to need quality to do it. We're going to need some serious quality to do it. And I see my man, True City Fan, in the building. Here to support. Like the video, lads. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. I appreciate the comments. That's helping with the channel. And I really like the convo. Moving forward, when I got Why Always Me and I got CIA, Intelligent Agendas. When we got CIA going off on Sundays, True City Fan Patrick's going to be in the mix. Heavy. I'm not desperate for the 5P, but I also know there's only so much you kind of can do in a matter of time. Pep's not going to be here forever. The quality of a KDB, a Bernardo, a Holland, there's certain players that aren't going to be here forever. We look at Ivan Stones. I want us to maximize as best as we can. And if we lose an Alvarez, we got to replace. And our attack has been so good. That's been the difference maker amongst the Arsenals that have challenged. That's been the difference maker even with regards to the Liverpools when they want to say that they had the best attack. When you look at what we're able to do, put the fear, almost the fear of football death into some of these defending clubs when they see Manchester City coming to their stadium or that they're coming to the Etihad. If we're going into attack and we're looking to know what a Savio, what a... Let's talk this out. Now let me start the clock because I'm going to keep this show on point as well. I'll put on the 15-minute timer because that's what we're going to do. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Julian Alvarez gone. Unfortunate case of no Holland. All right. Hypothetical, yes. What ifs? Okay. What ifs? Who plays centrally? Are we putting Foden play false 9? Are we putting Oscar Bob to play false 9? Or are we putting Savio to play centrally? And then we go Grealish, or we go Doku on the wing, and then we go what? Oscar Bob, Bernardo Silva on the wing? We have yet to see Savio. We have yet to see even McAtee play substantially for us. I like that when we had, and again, Alvarez isn't officially gone yet, but I like when we didn't have Alvarez that we were still like, okay, go do it. There was a portion back in the day when Aguero maybe had a little knock, hamstring, or knees, and we're like, yeah, it's kind of calm. It's calm. Jesus can do his thing. We know that Jesus can't do it for a long period of time, but we had that confidence. I don't know what we're gonna do without Julian Alvarez, and I don't know who we're gonna replace him with. I want this fifth. Do I need it? No, I definitely don't need it. Us, the City fans, we don't need it. Do we? We want it though. We want it. Other clubs need it. Like Arsenal need the league this year. Look at their spending intent. Record signing last season. They're spending Calafiori, Moreno. They're looking to sign. Listen, they are strengthening their weaknesses, but they still haven't addressed the attack, and we're going to weaken our attack, which kind of brings everything a little closer. Go back. When we have our Centurions, 99 goals, 94 goals, Aguero was available. And the time when we had to do the false nine or scoring by committee, yeah, we were able to get high in goals scored, but it was scoring by committee. I'm nervous. Let me know. Let me get to the comments, and thank you all for being patient in here. Let me see. Where did I leave off? Where did I leave off? Hold on. Okay, this is what I had to deal with. Oh, yeah, DC. I mentioned that. True City fan in the building. All right, AJ. With Dani Olmo to Barcelona officially done, if you can't get Ivan Toney, I honestly believe your best Julian replacement would be Eze. My thoughts? I don't even know if that's the best case because Eze, again, there's still mad competition for him to get on that pitch. For him to play centrally, nah. I don't think so, AJ. I don't think so. I mean, him coming to City is better than him going to a rival, but I don't think so, man. Canadian in action, DC, a rebrand. I could have multiple shows. I like that, and I like how you incorporated that. DC showing love to True City fan. Bob Savio Doku Grealish. Is that in reference to who could play false nine, or what the front attack would be? Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for our directness, but here's what I'm getting at, True City fan. I'm excited for our directness that we could have on the wings. And I don't want to be doom and gloom and already assuming that Holland's going to be hurt. But with Holland, that's going to be sick. That's nasty. It's amazing. And let's not even think from an injury standpoint. Let's just think of a season management, load management, however you want to break it down. But if we have that directness and we get in the congested part of the season and we do need to give these players a rest, who's that threat centrally? James McAtee, maybe. KDB, false nine. Yeah, but KDB's not going to challenge that back line. Yeah, will he peel off and maybe get those cutbacks? Yeah. False nines are many, though. We can play Bob, Savio, Doku, De Bruyne. Yeah, but if we play them false nine, then what's that combination in the midfield? What's the combination in the midfield? I'm getting caught up with the comments. Mancunian way in the building, showing love to everyone. He goes, we will be fine. We will buy, trust Pep, trust the club. We lost better players than Alvarez. All right. Will we be fine? Yes, of course, we will be fine. Have we lost an advantage? Yes. Because I think the fact that Julian Alvarez and Holland came in together in tandem when they did was great. And yeah, Pep tried to find a way to play them both together, but at times when he played one versus the other, or one then the other, it worked out well. There's times where he subbed off Holland late in the game, brought in Alvarez, and Alvarez still came on and would get a goal. That energy, that directness, that nose for goal. I think now it's a wait and see as opposed to we knew what we had. That's the only thing. Now it's a wait and see. We all thought, and when Fernandinho, Aguero company and went down, all went. Don't assume we play the same. No, we won't play the same. Pep's gonna have to come up with another system. I was excited at the idea that striker-wise things were kind of calm and Pep could just put his focus on the wing play. Now he's got to do both. Should we have looked to see if Griezmann could have come in the opposite direction? I actually like Griezmann. I like Griezmann. I know his departures haven't worked out, but I think he's an intelligent player. I think he would have been an intelligent player in the false nine system. Shown some love. AJ goes fair enough with regards to earlier. True City fan goes, brother, we have Nunez, Kova, Rodri, McAtee, Silva mid. We're covered in mid, but not a real direct not someone to make up for Phillips now playing at center back. Not someone to make up for Rodri when he maybe has a suspension for too many tactical yellows. Walker remains this season. I don't want any changes at right back. I don't think we need anything at left back. I don't think we need anything at center back. I think we need a versatile 6/8, and with Alvarez gone, we're gonna need a 9. We're gonna need a 9 that knows their role. Shout out to The Rock. We're gonna need a 9 that knows their role as backup, and every time they get on that pitch, they're trying to make a statement. They're trying to show that, hey, there's no drop off between Holland and me. That's what we need. Foden mid and KDB. Yeah, I'm not upset with the midfield. I'm cool with this. Alvarez has been great for the club. In 2 short years, he's done amazingly well for us, and he's gonna be missed. I'm not. When I say there's nothing wrong with saying we're gonna be weaker without Alvarez because of the quality that he was. There's a reason why the club went out and got him. There's a reason why we went out and got this guy. There's also a reason why he's won everything, right? He gave us the 3rd or 4th most minutes played last year. That's not because he's not good. Let me, True City fan. Sorry, I missed this. Advantage how when everyone was fit, Vader Alvarez was on the bench. Hence, he wants to leave. No, but that's it. When everyone was fit, we're okay. Everyone fit, we're dangerous. If we happen to get in a congested portion of the season, or we happen to get an injury, we're dangerous because he was then there able to step in. Like our attack was a huge advantage within the league. It was huge advantage. And or maybe let me be honest with you. I really liked using Julian Alvarez. Martin will know this because I had to slap him up in EAFC last year. But Julian Alvarez coming off the bench was really important for me when I was playing. So yeah, maybe I'm being a little selfish with that as well. He got 1 minute against West Ham when everyone was fit. That's the issue. No, from a player standpoint, career-wise, him wanting to get again, we sound like broken records, but another City player wanting to look to get guaranteed playing time. I get it from a player standpoint. Um, and you know what? Had we not won all that we won, I don't think he leaves. Had we not won all of the trophies, I don't think he leaves. But when it's like I've won everything and I'm playing second fiddle to Holland, I need to go. Right for him, for sure. Quality player is leaving our club. Hence why, logic wise, we are weaker because of it. Alvarez struggled against Liverpool and many teams when he was handed full keys. Trust me, brother, we will be fine. No, True City fan, I'm not going to let you do that. Because when we didn't have Alvarez, when we didn't have Holland and Alvarez played treble winning season, Alvarez was huge for us. If I'm remembering correctly, Alvarez was great for us. Let's not do that. Let's not do now that the player's leaving, we're gonna minimize, how important, how good they were. Alvarez was quality, man. Even we can go back down to True City fan breakdown pitch points. We broke it down on why Alvarez was of great quality coming to our club. Pat, how are you, man? Showing some love. Um, what's that here? P.S. Little self promotion. LL Mancunian away back Friday night UK time. No. You're more than happy. Don't worry about it. If again, this should be. I shouldn't even have to say this. I shouldn't even have to say this. Everybody in the chat, but True City fan Patrick Mancunian away Martin. If you haven't subscribed, and if you happen to be a rival in the chat, and you want to get the perspective to actually have your takes on Manchester City, sound and be a lot more intelligent, tune into those channels as well as mine, because you won't get no whack talk. Blue Heart in the building. Hope you all are good. Looking forward to the new season. I am just around the corner. Just around the corner. Shout out to Blue Heart. Now, Martin goes, wish Alvarez all the best. Thank you for the 2 years. The goals and the work rate. Yeah, we're gonna thank him. We're gonna wish him the best unless he's playing against us. But to say that Manchester City aren't weaker with losing this quality of player and not replacing him. All right, let me be clear. Okay? Let me be clear and not get this all twisted. If we don't replace the player, not like for like, I'm not going to say we're going to replace an Alvarez for an Alvarez. But if we have a player of his quality leaving, we don't replace him, we are weaker. It took 2 points, just 2 points, to separate us with the threatening, scary Arsenal. Just 2 points. And we're losing Alvarez. We're losing those goals. We're losing a man that would start for them. Come on. AJ in the building goes, Vader, huge congratulations. Yo, much respect. I'm creeping. I'm the best kept secret on YouTube. Haven't hit the century mark or anything like that with regards to subs. Obviously, I need to be a lot more consistent of it, but if you like the content, you're here. And that's all that matters. All right? That's all that matters. Now, Martin, we got those minutes due to injuries, Vader. That's the part you're missing. He doesn't want that. I get why Alvarez wants to leave. I get that. Now, him wanting to leave because and I said this on my last show last night, he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to fight for that number one spot. He doesn't see that he's going to be able to get past and be that first choice in that position over Holland. I get all that. Now, when we have an injury, we now no longer have that quality to step in. That's why we were weaker. That's the point I want to emphasize. What we choose to do as a club, I'm going to be calm with. I'm going to accept. But I can also say that I've now lost a rook. I've now lost a bishop in terms of a player on the chessboard trying to win this league. We need to replace that. We need to, and whether it's going to be an academy player that's going to advance across the board and get to the end, and then I'm going to be able to replace my lost bishop or rook because one of my academy pawns has leveled up, I'm okay with that. Okay, those of you that play chess understand the analogy. Um, let me see. Hold on. Oh, what? Oh, Bree in the building. What does Bree say? Do we just slap down 150 for Bree? We should. We should. Companies over there at Bayern, yeah, we take away one of his most important players, but we give him 150, just like bow. Win-win? Win-win? Now, which one do we go after? I say Musiala. But if I have a sneaky feeling we're not going to replace Julian Alvarez. I think we're going to do it internally. I think we're probably going to, in Tiki, we're probably going to do some type of release clause madness, maybe just before the window closes. What we end up doing, I don't know. Am I confident that we're still going to be one of the teams to beat for this league title? Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying, okay, all right, I'm gonna sound whiny, and I hate this. But think of the quality that we had to win the treble. Now think of the change in that quality or the health that prevented us from winning more than one trophy last year. Now think on what it may mean for us to try and win an unprecedented, never witnessed, never seen before 5 in a row with the likes of an Arsenal that are so desperate to win this league. Like, let's think of the quality that's needed in the starting 11, but even the quality that's needed to be relied on or leaned on as the season progresses. That's all that I'm trying to say. We're weaker. There's no debate. There's no debate about it. Let me go through these comments. Vader, this is Groundhog Day from your Sterling stream, if you remember that. No, it's not. No, it is not Groundhog Day. And it wasn't just Sterling that we lost. And it was a matter of when we lost Sterling. Come on now. Don't do that, Martin. Don't do that. And Sterling was huge for us. Sterling was the reason why we got that win over Liverpool. Remember, he got subbed on, instant impact. Got to think about that. Now, will players step up? Sure, will players step up. But we're weaker until that comes to reality. DC, Martin, you got rain in the States. Wait, what's going on? Hold on here. All right, hold on. But his natural effective position cannot be used much in this coming season, so not a net loss. Okay. His natural position at striker wouldn't be readily available because of Holland. I've acknowledged that. All right. Holland is that guy. Holland is that guy. And he just saw Holland do a hat trick in preseason. He's like, Alvarez, I'm sure him and his agents are like, oh, this season's going to be long. I'm not gonna be touching that pitch if KDB's healthy. I'm not touching that pitch if Foden's healthy. And I'm not touching that pitch if Holland's healthy. That him looking at it that way, I get it. But are those guys going to be playing 90% of the games this season? I don't know. Dwight goes, relax, bro. Manchester City have lost far more important players, but have done quite well. Yeah, yes, that's true. Just don't get this doom and gloom narrative just because Alvarez is leaving. Pep will find solutions. Pep's found solutions. Pep's come up with a false nine. Pep, when he had the whole mix up with Cancelo and even Walker, he came up with his 3-box 3. Pep will come up with solutions. I know this. We've got to wait and see what those solutions are. But we are weaker without a Julian Alvarez, with Pep having to come up with a solution. Pep being MacGyver. Shout out to all you that happen to know MacGyver, old school show. They try to do a remake. But when man didn't have a let me use a flare gun, okay? And he needed a flare gun. He didn't have it, right? He's better equipped with a flare gun. When he didn't have it, he would go and get he'd get a cardboard box, he'd get some matches, he'd get some flour, he'd get some vinegar and baking powder, baking soda, and he'd do some type of madness and make his own flare gun. Yes, he could come up with a solution. Pep can come up with a solution. But are you better off having that flare gun or having that weaponry right there and there? Yeah, so why is it lost? Why is it lost that we're weaker? Why is that not acceptable? Will we come up with a fix? Yes. But we're weaker. What were we not weaker when Aguero was injured or when Aguero left us? Yeah, we were weaker. Yeah, did Pep come up with the solution? Yes. Am I confident that Pep will do that? Yes. But we are weaker. And I'd like us to I hit the microphone, my apologies. I'd like us not to be weaker. That's it. That's it. Everyone else is strengthening. I understand the cycle as well. So when the season kicks off, it's going to be like, let's go do our thing. The players that we have, let's go and do this. I'm there with everyone. Oscar Bob going to do a madness again. I like what we saw last season. Rico Lewis, I haven't forgotten about Rico. Rico's doing his thing. Preseason, O'Reilly looked nice. Academy players going through the system from when they were pups. They know it in and out. I'm confident with what they can do. But we're also losing, guys, we're losing a very talented player. We're losing a very talented player. And let's also not forget on what competition does. Let's also not forget about what it means when you have a player, whether it's Grealish and Doku, having to be right in the head so that they're selected by Pep to play. Let's also think about the competition that happens on other areas of the pitch. Foden's got to be on point. Bernardo Silva's got to be on point. Back when it used to be Sane, Sterling, and Mahrez, players got to be on point. Competition's really good. Alvarez and Holland coming in together, I'm sure that made for great competition in a healthy way within the squad. And you know what? I'm going to do this. Sorry for being a little backed up on the comments, but I'm going to do this. I am no ITK. But I got good friends, good connects. And I would never share something that's privately said. But I also know that there was portions within the season on when Holland And his work effort, work rate wasn't what was most wanted of him within the squad. All right? That's City fans, you know this. This isn't anything new. Rivals, maybe this is news to you as you tune in and you're checking this out. But there were moments within the season where Erling Haaland, as fantastic as he was being criticized, was being reviewed, was being told, you got to change. You got to fix this up. We need to see more. Or when we had an Alvarez to kind of do what wasn't being done, and we all saw this. We all come on. Let's also not act like when Alvarez would come on the pitch and the work rate that he put in and the things that the chances that he was able to create just because of movement alone, because of pressing alone, we in an attacking form are weaker with the loss of him. Let's be honest with that. Let's be honest with that. I'm behind on the comments, but I'm a all right. Let me relax. Let me relax. DC with an unpopular opinion. She goes, unpopular opinion. If we don't win any trophies, I won't be too bothered. I could have died happy after the trouble. I'm good, but Vader, I understand where you're coming from. Every loss. DC, that's what I'm saying. I don't need another trophy. I do not. I've witnessed the apex of any English club. I've witnessed the apex, a treble, right? A four-peat. No one's ever done that. No one. So do I need? No, I don't need. Do I want for the sake of the enjoyment and again the joy I see with my minions and how they're consuming football now? Yeah. Yeah. Let me do this. Let me put this on screen. This is a reason. This is a reason right here. This is a reason. Let me move out of the way so you can kind of see this. I don't need anything. I'm gonna lean back. I don't need another trophy, DC. I'm with you. This season in particular, if we don't win anything, I'm calm with it. But it's how we don't win anything, right? I love competition. Like I turn almost everything into a competition. So I want to see the club continue to fight and do their utmost. And if it happens to be a season where that fight doesn't result in trophies, I'm happy. I'm not stressing out. I'm not doing no player FCs or no owner out nonsense that you get from these other rivals. I remember the 30 plus years of not winning a major. Freaking Manchester United with their stupid banner in their stands, reminding us of it. My uncle telling me that like they're the most obnoxious fan base in the world, and them going out of their way during their glory years to remind the world of our failures. So I'm calm. I don't need another trophy, but we let's see what the club does. Let's see what the club does. I've gone on long enough talking about this. You guys have been patient with me. The views, the comments have been tremendous. Hopefully, you guys have all hit that like button. Blue Heart goes. As of right now, we are weaker. It's true, Vader. Blue Heart knows what I'm talking about. Blue Heart. Yeah. I think we'll see what the club ends up doing. I, for one, I'm going to wish Alvarez all the best. Is it best for his career to go now? 100%. Can he get that added payday? 100%. Does he have anything else to prove other than proving that he's better than Haaland and displacing Haaland here at Manchester City? No, but he doesn't want that fight. I don't blame him for it. Move on and do his thing. Do what happens if we happen to face Atletico Madrid Champions League? That'll be an amazing test. The storyline will be huge. We'll see where things go from there. Martin goes, what Martin have to say here? We can't moan at losing EDS lads, then say we must replace top players with top players. Which one do fans want? See, Martin, that way of thinking can work with someone else, but it's not working with me. And the reason why is because if we have an EDS player that can play in the 9, I zip my lip. But when we don't have an EDS player in that position, then I want us to retain the quality player. If we have an EDS player in the position of where the star player wants to leave, calm. That's the balance that I have. That's the balance that I have for me. I would never judge Pep on a player that wants to go away. I agree. Pep will move the pieces and get a workable plan. Yeah, he will. Now, what the plan ends up being, we'll wait and see. On another show, on another 115, I'm going to talk about this. Why players aren't held hostage at City. All right. Will it happen tomorrow? Maybe it'll happen tomorrow. I've been able to do back-to-back shows. I think I might be able to make that work tomorrow. I'm going to talk about why Manchester City players aren't held hostage at City. And the philosophy makes perfect sense. It's brilliant. Long-term vision, absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to break that down proper. I'm going to devote the 50 minutes, whether it becomes a show that ends up being 50 plus minutes long. We'll wait and see. But that question will be answered. That question will be answered. There's no... I'm gutted, though. I wish Alvarez all the best. Though, let me also say this. The record transfer, right? The record sale. Record sale, absolutely love it. I love the business side of it. I absolutely love that. What we do with it, who knows? Who knows what we're going to do with it? Will Pep do his MacGyver and turn the departure of Ben Alvarez into a title-winning team? Yeah, I'm confident in that. We'll be fine. I don't like the "will be fine." I don't want the "will be fine." Pep doesn't want a "will be fine." Do you know how giddy Pep was going into that season with a proper... And let me say this out loud, and I'm back up so I'm not too loud on the microphone. You know how giddy Pep was when he was able to have a proper backup to Ederson, a incoming prolific striker in Holland, and in Alvarez? You know what happened? Pep got that. In addition to already having KDB, Foden, Gundogan, Mahrez, Pep got all that and went and won a treble. That's it. You don't win a treble. You don't win a treble MacGyvering. You don't win a treble with "I'm gonna be fine." Because "I'm gonna be fine" is what happened the season before when we had Steph. I'm gonna crush his name. The American keeper, and we had to play him in the FA Cup. Why am I going blank right now? Why am I going blank right now? But Pep recognized a weakness. He recognized a weakness in backup keeper, right? We went and got Ortega. He recognized how we got the win. We did what we had to do. We got the win in the league, but still saw the limitations when it came down to Champions League and went out and got 2 strikers. We'll be fine. I'm in agreement. We'll be fine. We'll be fine next season or this season. Like my man, True City fan says, hit that like button if you haven't already. I see my guy, Jacob, United Spurs of America, what up? Thanks for being on the show, man. Thanks for being in the comments. Clinical, my dude. The first time I saw Oscar Bob playing in the EDS, he was playing center forward, and he was one of the best players on the pitch. I legit thought he was a striker. I know, but that's an EDS. And Oscar Bob, I think maybe he's a season away from having that league physicality in his game. But Zach, that's right. Zach Steffen was our backup keeper when what we were able to quote unquote hold off Liverpool. We'll be fine, guys. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. We'll see what the club does. I'm not here claiming disasters. Dwight in the building, he goes, a certain pity merchant who has 14 goals in 3 years needs to step up and get more GA. The guy has been freeloading for far too long, while these same fans cook Sterling at every turn. He's going to step up this year. The competition is going to be fierce on the wing. Competition is going to be fierce. He's going to step up. If he doesn't step up, he doesn't play. I think that's what's going to be happening out here. Clinical, and I'm going in reverse order kind of, but Clinical goes, it's not a meltdown for Alvarez to leave, but we will for sure be weaker. Thank you, Clinical. We will be weaker, especially since I don't see us replacing him this window. Yeah, I don't see us. I think we might even hold on to the money. I think these record transfer, this net spend, this like war chest that's being, that's being gathered with the sales. Sergio Gomez, shout out to True City fan Patrick, Sergio Gomez, and that sale. But I think we're going to be hoarding some of this money. I think we do something record breaking on a year, on a potential season when we could lose KDB, we could lose Bernardo Silva, we could lose Kyle Walker. Yeah, those three in particular. I think the war chest gets spent next season. But listen, I've rambled on far too long. You guys have been amazing with regards to the comments. I'm doing my best to have these shows on the regular. I am going to include guests. Like I see Clinical is going to be back for when the season kicks around. I like how him and I talk football. Martin, of course, Mancunian way, True City fan, my dude, always representing. Pitch points, Carl, and then I'm gonna have some rivals on the show. Looking at the next 2 weeks, and it's gonna be nice and calm. Not this yelling over each other. Not this to each his own. Not these silly debates. Not these player FC comparisons. It's gonna be some proper club talk. Right? We're going to talk about our clubs. We're going to talk about football. Those other channels, they can do their thing. And if you enjoy it, that's where you go for it. But we're going to talk some football over here. So listen, hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. 15 minutes, one question for 15 minutes, 115. I'm going to do better. I promise. I'm going to do better to be within my 15 minutes of speaking, y'all 15 minutes of interaction with the comments, and I'm gonna find the flow for it. And you guys let me know, because this is flowed for almost an hour. So if it's gone this long, I think you guys are appreciating it, liking it. If I were to refine it to be shorter, we'll kind of wait and see. But again, in the comments, in the description, I'm gonna make sure I shout out all my peoples, like I do on Why Always Me and what I do on CIA. But those subscribe, support them, this channel as well. And hey, we move. No Alvarez. Manchester City will be fine. Are we as strong of favorites to win as we were when he was here? I say no. And that's why I say we're weaker. but we'll see where we move, and we'll see where this deal nets out. But I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. 115, one question, 15 minutes, and we're out.
Vader Games.